Hello, and thank you for listening to this episode of the Moore's October Rants. Today's episode is going to be titled Life is More Than Work. We live in a world where it feels like people always need to be doing something, whether it's working a full time job, picking up a side hustle, fixing things around the house, going out every weekend, or constantly chasing new projects. Some folks just don't know how to sit still. And while staying busy can be a good thing, it helps you earn money, develop skills, and stay productive. There's a point where it becomes too much. Making money is always beneficial. It gives you freedom, security, and the ability to afford the things you want. If you're not spending it, you can save it. And having extra money set aside is never a bad idea. But here's where a lot of people get stuck. They don't know how to balance making money and actually enjoying their lives. Some folks are so focused on work, side hustles, and constant productivity that they forget to slow down and just exist for a while. This nonstop lifestyle can be exhausting, both for the people living it and for those around them. Some people just don't know how to relax. They always feel like they should be doing something, fixing things, planning their next big move, or working even when they're supposed to be off the clock. It's like they're afraid of downtime, as if taking a break means they're wasting their lives. The problem is, life isn't just about how much you accomplish or how much money you make. It's also about the moments you share with people, the conversations you have, and the memories you create. If you're constantly caught up in the next task, you're missing out on the simple joys of life. And if you never take a step back to rest, you're eventually going to burn out. One of the most frustrating things about this mindset is when people try to push it onto others. Just because someone enjoys constantly working or staying busy doesn't mean everyone else has to live that way. Some people find fulfillment in taking it slow, enjoying their free time, and not cramming every second of the day with something productive. If someone wants to live that nonstop, always on the go lifestyle, that's fine, as long as they're not making life miserable for the people around them. But what happens when that kind of behavior starts to affect their relationships? When someone is always working, always hustling, always occupied with something, they start to neglect the people in their life. Family, friends, even their own personal well being take a back seat. The worst part is that a lot of people don't even realize they're overworking themselves. They tell themselves they're just being productive, staying ahead, or making the most of their time. But in reality, they're running themselves into the ground. And sometimes they even start looking down on people who aren't constantly working, as if taking a break is a sign of laziness. This whole mindset reminds me of people who are obsessed with money. You know the type. The ones who manage to turn every single conversation into a discussion about finances. It doesn't matter what you're talking about. Somehow, they always find a way to bring up how much money they made last week, what their next big investment is, or what they're selling to make a little extra cash. My sister's boyfriend is one of those people. No matter what we're talking about, movies, travel, even just casual life stuff, he always circles back to money, how much he made that week, what he's doing to earn more, what business idea he's thinking about next. And after a while, it gets really old. It's not that talking about money is bad, but when that's the only thing someone ever wants to discuss, it makes every conversation feel one sided and exhausting. And it's not just money. Some people do the exact same thing with politics. No matter what the topic is, they find a way to turn it into a debate about policies, government issues, or political parties. It doesn't matter if the conversation started about food, movies, or even the weather. Before you know it, they've somehow brought it back to politics. It's draining. Now, don't get me wrong. People should talk about the things they're passionate about. Everyone has interests. I love discussing video games, tech, and new gadgets, but I also understand that not everyone shares those interests. A good conversation should be balanced. It should go back and forth rather than being one person constantly steering things toward the same subject. I used to hang out with a group of older guys at a coffee shop, and our conversations were always varied. They were really into cars, which I don't know much about, but they didn't push it on me. We could talk about different things and still have a good time. That's the kind of social balance that makes conversations enjoyable. It's not just one person talking about what they love without considering the other person's interests. The truth is, you don't have to put up with people who drain your energy. If someone's constant busyness, money obsession, or single topic conversations wear you out, you have every right to step back. You don't need to surround yourself with people who make every interaction feel like a chore. Life should be more than just checking off tasks or obsessing over work and money. It's about making time for real connections, having meaningful conversations, and actually enjoying your time instead of always planning for the next thing. If you're always moving at full speed, you're going to miss out on some of the best parts of life. At the end of the day, everyone is free to live however they want. But it's worth asking, is being constantly busy actually making you happy? Are you working hard because you genuinely love what you do, or just because you feel like you have to? Learning to find balance between work and rest, between productivity and relaxation, is what makes life truly enjoyable. Anyways, thank you for listening to this episode of the Moore's October Rants. Signing out. Have a good one, guys. Goodbye for now.